To the rest of the day's news now, and this year's general election will be held on Saturday the 7th of November. The Prime Minister made the announcement at National's caucus retreat in Christchurch today, where he pitched a united front despite rumblings of disunity over Auckland housing. And Auckland was where Labor gathered for its caucus retreat, with leader Chris Hipkins telling the party it'll have to do better in the super city than at the last election. Here's political correspondent Zane Small.
Outside, it looked more like winter at Labor's summer caucus retreat in West Auckland. But inside, the vibe was brighter.
Good to see everybody looking refreshed and re-energised and fired up for election year. Welcome to election year.
We're refreshed, energised, our team is ready.
Although some of the team were ready to leave. Labor MP and former Speaker Adrian Rurafe announced his retirement from politics today after more than a decade.
He just made his own decisions. I was surprised as anyone. I really did think he was going to stay on.
Willie Jackson stood next to Adrian Rurafe's replacement, Georgie Dancy.
I have very big shoes to fill.
Now, the purpose of these retreats is for the caucus to get together and strategise about how to win the election. But the challenge for Chris Hipkins is convincing not only his caucus but the public that he can win after leading Labor to an election defeat in 2023. Why should voters vote for you this time?
The Labor Party spent the last 2.5 years listening to New Zealanders. We understand why New Zealanders didn't vote for us at the last election. We understand they were looking for something different from us. We have refreshed ourselves.
Do you think that could hold him back a bit?
No, I don't think so at all. He had less than a year in that role.
And with the election date now confirmed, Chris Hipkins has less than a year to convince voters he's better than the other Chris.
On November 7, Kiwis get to make their choice.
We've typically seen New Zealand going to the polls in October rather than in November. That suggests that he's desperate to hold on as long as he can.
It's only fair that, having done the work to cut waste, cut red tape and really fix the economic damage we inherited, that people should be able to see the benefits of that before they vote.
Christopher Luxon announced the election date at National's caucus retreat in Christchurch, where he pitched a united front despite rumblings of disunity over a plan for housing intensification in Auckland led by Housing Minister Chris Bishop.
It's very clear there's strong feedback and we'll make some changes which we'll announce in due course.
We are now going through a process of just finessing the plan that Auckland needs to come up with.
It's a massive slap in the face to Chris Bishop.
But Chris Hipkins knows all too well how important the Auckland vote is after Labor's crushing defeat.
We did lose a lot of support in Auckland in the 2023 election. We've been working hard over the last 2.5 years to build that back.
And now begins the campaign to translate that hard work into votes.
So, Zane, we are starting to get a much clearer picture of what voters can expect.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, there wasn't any policies announced by Labor or National today, but we did get some key bits of information. For example, Christopher Luxon did confirm today that he is open to working with both ACT and New Zealand First again. So Christopher Luxon has made that clear. Chris Hipkins, however, is still reluctant to say who he would work with, but he did say he will reveal that to voters later on in the year. Chris Hipkins did, however, confirm that it is a non-negotiable for him that his finance spokesperson, Barbara Edmonds, would have to be finance minister under any government that he leads. So the Labor leader putting a bottom line there, and tough luck for the Greens, for example, if they were eyeing that portfolio.
OK, Zane, thank you for that.